Thank you so much for joining us for scaling your business with CRM automation and AI today. I'm joined by Dolly from HubSpot. She's a principal account director. Dolly, if you just want to introduce yourself quickly.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dolly. I'm a principal account director here at HubSpot, and I'm really excited to be here today to showcase how HubSpot is actually helping businesses. So over to you, Luke.
And I'm Luke. I'm the CEO of Mo Agency. We're the largest African HubSpot partner, and we've been using a lot of the HubSpot AI tools in our daily work, and we want to share that a little bit. All right, let's get going. So this is what we're going to cover. What is AI and how is HubSpot starting to leverage it? The benefits and the limitations of AI. And then we're going to do some demos. The first one will be a marketing demo and how we're using the new HubSpot content assistant and ChatSpot. I'll be doing that. And then Dolly will be doing a sales demo on content assistant, automation, and ChatSpot. And then we'll have a section for questions and answers. But please, put your questions in the chat. Chris will gather them as we go. We're going to try just keep a brisk pace. If we can move through this quickly, it's not too many slides. And we just want to give you a good taste of it. And then we'll answer questions at the end. So who uses AI in their daily workflow? Write your answers in the chat if you can. Just in terms of myself and my workflow, we found, and I guess our agency's workflow, we found that using AI with content creation and content management has been a big, big time saver. I've actually gone and created a whole website out of AI, even down to the plugins used for WordPress. So I see a few people are saying there, I say Chris is very limited, but interested to know more. And I want you to think about this in your daily workflow, because what AI is going to do is not going to replace you. It's going to enhance things that you're doing in your daily workflow. So why use AI in marketing and sales? So AI will scale the impact you and your team have by completing routine manual tasks. And I'll show you an example of how we can create titles for potential blog posts that used to take us an hour or so, and it now takes us 30 seconds. We can reduce the margin of error or delays, and we can free up our teams to focus on tasks that matter. So over here I mentioned overall increasing efficiency, productivity in your daily workflow. So just remember that word workflow. So I thought this was quite cool. So let's ask an AI. So this is from ChatGPT, what an AI is. And for the purposes of this session, we want to use two different types of AI. The first is AI, and the next is generative AI. The enhancement that HubSpot has pulled into HubSpot now is generative AI. So I asked ChatGPT, and it defined AI like this. Artificial intelligence is a field of computer science that enables machines to mimic human intelligence, including learning, reasoning, and problem solving. Okay, so, and I'll show you how to differentiate between the two in a second. Generative AI, which is very much ChatGPT, Jasper, I'm sure a few other, Dolly, and now ChatSpot. Generative AI refers to artificial intelligence models that can create new, previously unseen data like images, text, or sound. So a lot of people worry about plagiarism with AI. Not going to happen. It is, as it says here, previously unseen data, images, text, or sound. So just remember that AI versus generative AI. AI is going to be mostly digging into existing data, looking for relationships. Generative AI is creating brand new information. So a little bit about HubSpot and AI. So they've been using AI for years. in terms of data enrichment, lead scoring, conversation intelligence. It's one of the things that our clients love most is this conversation intelligence. Call can be recorded and elements can be pulled out of it and important parts can be highlighted. That's been running for quite some time in HubSpot. But now what we're doing is this year, HubSpot has engineered generative AI across the platform. And that's in the form of, and what we're going to show you, the content assistant and ChatSpot. Oops. So just a little technical way of differentiating between standard AI and generative AI. So there's a model. So Y is the model output. That's your answer. F is the model. So like ChatGPT, and X is the input data, what you're asking the system. So on the right, it's not generative AI when Y, the output, is a number, class, or a classification, a probability. So basically it's reading existing data and showing you interrelationships between that data. It is generative AI when Y, again, the model, the output is natural language, image, audio. And what we're going to show you today is a little bit of non-Gen AI, looking at the data inside of CRMs and querying it with a language model. And then we'll also look at some generative AI in terms of the content assistant, where we actually create net new content for the use of marketing. Oops, sorry, struggling with my slides here. So just a little bit of how the architecture of HubSpot is working with these new models. So ChatGPT, which we all know and use, some more than others. DALL-E, which is predominantly an image engine. HubSpot CRM and Google Docs have been put together, and we've ended up with ChatSpot. Important to note, generative AI is great, but it can't do a few things. It can't do original research. It can't do fact checking. It can't provide lived experience, right? It is generating information based off what's on the internet and not even the most recent snapshot of the internet. And it's building into relationships between there. It certainly can't provide lived experience. So we need to ensure the quality of the output. It can contain bias. Bear in mind, its base of knowledge is the internet. If on the internet, everyone is saying the sky is red, and people are getting answers from, let's say, ChatGPT, that the sky is red, and everyone goes, yeah, it must be red. That's bias. And that can happen very easily with generative AI, so be aware. And then, of course, Google will penalize low quality content, not because it's been AI generated, but just because it's low quality. So these are some things that you need to just be aware of as you move through this presentation and you start using these tools. Another little important thing is this is very new. It's just been released by HubSpot. You'll notice there's a little ChatSpot alpha. It's not even beta yet, so it's not necessarily publicly available. You can request it to be added to your portal if you're a current client and in its full glory, but everyone can access some of it, but it is alpha. In fact, I mean, these guys, HubSpot are the first CRM to actually do this. So they really are moving quickly. Okay, so this is the marketing piece. So maximizing your marketing efficiency, using AI in your content strategy. The immense strain that content teams are under to keep up has been a driving force behind the adoption of AI for content creation. Inside of Mo Agency, we are using ChatGPT, Jasper, ChatSpot like crazy to do the legwork for us. We still require humans to fine tune, to fact check, to check for bias, but it has really, really supercharged our content creation ability. So Now for the fun bit. Ways we can use the content assistant, and I'm going to demo this to you. So the first one is to generate blog ideas. The next one will be to create some blog outlines. I'll then play around with some landing pages in HubSpot, and then I'll create some marketing emails. And I'm going to do this all from inside the platform. So let's hop over and get this done. Okay. So the first one is to get some blog ideas. So I'm going to go over to ChatSpot over here. I'm going to go a new chat. And by the way, if you want to register for this and you have a HubSpot account, you can. If you don't have a HubSpot account, I'm sure Chris will just drop a link into the chat where you can click on it and just set up a HubSpot account. We'll also share it again later. But the idea is to just create a user here. You connect it to your HubSpot account. Just follow the prompts. It's really easy. I don't need to show you over here. So it does give us a few prompts, and Dolly's going to kind of go through some of the prompts on the sales and the reporting side. I'm just going to use the natural language piece of it. So remember, I want an outline for some blogs. So I am going to ask it, and it's very much like ChatGPT, because the base of this is ChatGPT 4. Give me 30 semantically relevant blog post titles. I'll just fix my spelling there. Or a blog post on, and I'm going to do, let's think about it, content, marketing, and AI. Let me just fix my spelling, although I probably wouldn't mind that. And off we go. A little bit like ChatGPT in the beginning, it takes a bit of time. But what they are doing is speeding this up all the time. You would have noticed if you were using ChatGPT late last year, it was a lot slower than it is now. Okay. So we've got 30 great blog post titles. This would have taken us a good half an hour to come up with in the past. And I am going to select a very basic one over here. And I'm just going to paste that in here. And I'm going to say very easily, write a 500-word blog post on the benefits of using AI in your marketing, content marketing strategy. Give it a bit of time. And remember, this is accessing ChatGPT 4. It just has a few added benefits because it's plugged directly into your HubSpot account. And there we are. We have a blog post. Now what I can do is I can create an audio post. I can save it as a Google Doc, or I can post it to HubSpot, which is what we're mostly using. I can now view it in HubSpot. This is linked to my HubSpot portal, so it pops it straight into the blog. And off I go. Bear in mind, this is just a demo portal, so it's nothing fancy. There's no nice design here. This is just stock standard HubSpot blogging. And I'm going to just make it a bit nicer. I'm going to read this. This all reads well. Improve personalization. Okay, and then I'm having a look at this over here. I don't think this is the best wording for this. So I'm actually going to ask HubSpot to rewrite this. Utilizing AI in content marketing grants him. Yep, this is great. A lot better. And then what I want to do, actually, I like the end of this over here. So I am going to expand on this because actually this is what I want to do. Higher engagement rates, increase brand loyalty. I'm going to expand this. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let me pop that in. Okay, great. Then obviously I can go through here and I can do my usual stuff. I mean, these are going to be, oh, no, not that. I can make these H2s and I can make this a pretty blog, which I'm not going to do right now. Oops, I need to just actually go through a little bit of formatting over here, which I'm not going to go through here. I could also go back to here and instead of asking to write the blog, I'm going to say, create a blog outline for a blog post called Benefits of Using AI in Your Content Marketing Strategy. I personally like to do it like this. It just gives a little bit more control over how things are pushed out. So I'm now going to post this to HubSpot. I'm going to view it in HubSpot. And I now have an outline. Now, what I can do over here is I can just start working on this and let's say that is my H2. And I'm going to, give me a sec here, expand. Insert. And I might also choose this. And so on. I can build out a blog post super easily. I can decide to change things. I can move things around. I can rewrite things. I can change the tone of things. If I wanted to, and I thought this was too long, I could say summarize. And you get the message. Very, very, very easy to use and very powerful way to create content online. Now, a lot of us who have HubSpot like to use landing pages to share content. And this is a landing page that one of our team have used just to do some training on. Now, it's obviously been running for a while. I'm sure it's got some data on it, but I want to create an A/B test. Okay, there's the B version. And I can very easily go down to here and rewrite this. You can see the difference in there. Are you ready to take the first step towards digital success? Another one is ready to kickstart your digital success journey. So I could easily create a new version of a landing page without even thinking too much and publish it. And we're now running an A/B test. Very, 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 very little thought, and I can run and do tests. And as long as you've got good flow over that in terms of users, easy peasy. Same thing with a marketing email. This is, again, one of our internal tests where I think probably one of our salespeople have learned how to use HubSpot. or potentially one of our account managers, same sort of thing. This is it over here. I'm just going to clone it quickly, make it a regular email. And I think this is far too wordy, and I could easily come in here and rewrite it. So I'm going to rewrite that whole piece, and I'm just going to go summarize, because I think that is quite long for an email. And literally, I've created a new version of this. I can then, again, go do the B version and create another version, and off you go. So let's just go back here and see if I've covered everything. So landing pages, marketing emails, blog outlines, and blog ideas worked really, really well and very, very easily. And honestly, this is early stages for this technology and HubSpot. Dolly, over to you on the sales demo.
Thank you so much, Luke. I really enjoyed watching you demo that. That was super cool. Thank you so much. So yeah, if you want to go to the next slide for me, please. So thank you everyone for joining today's session. And on the sales side of things, as you know, HubSpot is a full platform that looks after all your business needs in terms of, the sales side of things, to marketing, to service, to CMS and operations of. It goes a long way when you have everything on one single platform. And that's where HubSpot comes into play for you. So in terms of, what Sales Hub is, just to give you a bit of context around that. So Sales Hub is a time-saving tool that would give you, deeper insights into the prospect and automate, all your work and help you close your deals quicker. And that's just it. That's what the Sales Hub is all about. And then if you go on to the next slide, please. Thank you. When we talk about Sales Hub, there's a lot of capabilities and functionalities that comes within the Sales Hub for us. And then the tools embedded in here, as you can see on the screen, would help you maximize and improve the efficiency across board within your sales team. So because Sales Hub is actually part of the HubSpot CRM on its own, so it means that your team can then eliminate any friction across all teams. So be it with the marketing team or be it with the operations team. So they eliminate any kind of friction going on in there to create the likes of alignment, great alignment when it comes to all those cross-functional teams, basically. Using Sales Hub basically would help you use all the data that you have in the platform to prioritize what your outreach should look like, and then predict what your maybe the pipeline else would look like as well. In terms of the automation that comes within the Sales Hub itself, you are able to then put your, all your prospecting work on autopilot. I'm sure all the salespeople here would love that. And then in terms of, the creating the likes of the sales enablement content and, making it very accessible. And then you can have playbooks to help your team even be better at what they do. And I would always say this when I'm talking to prospect that, the HubSpot's reporting is actually second to none because it's very easy to use. Once the data is in there, you're able to pull it as easy as possible. So basically, you're able to use our Sales Hub to report on your reps' efficiency, the productivity, and you can actually run, forecasting reports on it as well. I would like to say that AI itself. So if you go on to the next slide, please, Luke. So before I jump into the AI bit, actually, so basically what the HubSpot Sales Hub is going to do for you is, help you in terms of the reporting capabilities, having everything on one single platform, because it boils down to all that. And because we have a unified code base, it makes it easy for everyone to use. You don't have to be extremely tech savvy to use the platform. It's that easy to use. So I just wanted to highlight all that in terms of how connected our platform is and easy to use it is. So if you want to jump into the next page, next slide, please, for me, Luke. Thank you. So jumping into the good stuff, everybody loves a bit of AI in there. Yes, let's do this. Yeah. So thank you so much for that. I'm really, really pumped for this particular slide. I really love it. And basically, Luke mentioned earlier that HubSpot has been using AI for quite a while now. It's not just something that we started using today, and it goes a long way. 100%, we've been using AI for a number of years, and a typical example in here would be the likes of the conversation intelligence that is embedded within the sales of. That is extremely powerful in the way that you're able to take all the transcript from your calls, and we're able to pick apart what the most important thing is, and then you can then leverage that for your coaching purposes and for all your sales reps. And that's AI inside of HubSpot, and this is something that we've had for a long time. It's not just a flash in the pan for us, and I'm quite excited because this is something that everybody's getting to see now. So when it comes to the likes of the content assistant, and this is why we're here today, as a salesperson, the content assistant would actually help you build your pipeline more efficiently. And I'm sure we all love that. It's going to help you shorten the time that it takes you to actually close your deals. Another important thing that it would do for you is it would increase the level of personalization and customization that you have for your outreach messages. And then you're spending more valuable time on value-added tasks rather than you chasing or doing a lot of follow-up that's meant to be automated. So just bearing this in mind, I would like to, just give you a bit of context into how HubSpot uses, content assistant, and how you can use a content assistant. In this case, when you have all these processes automated, you have your streamline automated. Now you're saving time. As a salesperson, if you're using HubSpot, you're saving at least 2.5 hours every single day using our platform. The question I'd like to ask you is, you can actually put the answer in the chat if you wish. The question I'd like to ask you is, what would you do with that 2.5 hours that you're saving? Are you going to spend it on closing deals? Are you going to spend it on generating your pipeline? So that's a food for thought that I would like you to actually, review, think about, put the answers in the chat. I'd love to read it. So now I think we're going to jump into the good stuff. Let's do this. Thank you. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go there. All right. Can we all see my screen? Perfect. Thank you. So I'm going to start this by going into the sales filter in here in terms of the set criteria. And in here, if I go in here and I just say, I need to understand how many deals has been created this month. Because as a head of sales, I really want to know what's going on within my business. And I just ask, let's just do this. Let's go into the reporting bit. Makes it easier. We go into deals. And then we call it, we say deals this month. Let's say by stage first, actually. So this is going to group all the deals that has been created based on the stage that they're at the moment. So let's see. So these are all the deals that's been created this month. I have 28 deals created this month, and it's on the different stages at the moment. In this case, I could easily save it to HubSpot or save it to Google Sheet as I want. So if I want to then know, how much of a revenue have we actually closed one this month? So it's all about the revenue. It's all about the money. So I just type it in here. Just load and give it a minute. Ooh, 3 million. That's a lot. So in here, you could see that we've closed $3 million this month so far. Another aspect is I want to, know how many deals has been created. Yeah, so I have 5 deals created this month, and I can easily save this to HubSpot or just save it to Google Link, Google Sheet. And if I open one of the deals, you'd be able to see what that looks like for me, and just loading up. It's super easy to use. So now I've opened one of the deals that I created, and you can see all the activities. If there are any within this particular deal, I can keep track of what's going on in there. Is there any next steps that needs to be done and all? And if there's any outstanding task in there, I'll be able to see everything in my deal record. So this is just loading up for me. Apologies, my internet is quite slow. Okay, while this is loading up, I'm just going to jump back into my powerhouse in here. And in here, if I want to do a bit of research regarding, the verticals I want to, focus on, maybe going for next month, I want to focus on other verticals, maybe manufacturing companies, for example, but I'm struggling to understand where I need to start from. So let's click on, find companies with me. So let's say manufacturing. South Africa. Okay, so in this case, I'm looking for list of manufacturing companies in South Africa that I could actually prospect to. As a salesperson, you want to reach out, you want to prospect. So let's see what this brings. I have 2,750 companies in South Africa within the manufacturing space. So in this case, I could easily add them to HubSpot directly. And then there you go. I start prospecting into them. And the key thing is now I have my companies that I want to prospect into. But it's very important to actually know who you're actually prospecting into as well. Like, who's the head of marketing in there? Who's the head of sales? Who's the CMO? Who's the CEO? Who's the CIO? I want to know before actually, starting my old prospect game. So in here, I could leverage, if I know the email address, for example, I could easily just go on the individual search and then type in the email address of this person. And immediately I have the full information, go on the LinkedIn page if I want to. A typical example is, Luke, I'm going to pick on you here. So Luke at mo.agency. Is that correct? Yeah. So I want to, get a bit of information regarding Luke, and there you go. I have Luke's email address. I even have his LinkedIn page. And that is super cool. It's very easy because now you have all the resources that you need to prospect into this particular company. So another one I like to actually share would be, it's one of my favorites actually. So I have it here for you. So if you go back into content writing, so let's say sales, and you want to, pitch a product. So in this case, I want to pitch Sales Up. And the persona, you need to understand who the persona is. So let's say I'm reaching out to head of sales. So in here, just give it a minute. Okay, So the system, ChatSpot is actually going to generate me information about what I need to actually send to this. No, now I've found Luke. So what am I actually going to send to him? What am I pitching? What am I selling? So this is my pitch, my prospecting email that I'm going to be sending to Luke. Another key thing I like to, shed light upon would be there's a lot of capabilities around what you can use this particular platform for. You just need to play around it to see how it works best for you, best for your company, and best for your workflows and processes internally based on your company. If you want to research a company and you just want to even know about them, what do they do? Before you need to do your prospect work, your research, and everything before just reaching out to people or companies and all. So in this case, you're able to generate more information about this company that you're researching. So let's say, for example, you want to research MO agency. You want to prospect into them, but you just want to research them first. And then all you have to do is enter the URL, or you can enter the name of the business, and voila. It's going to take a second, but then it's going to populate all the information about MO agency. How many employees do they have? And in this case, you're gauging it because you're doing your research. You're gauging it. Does it fit into the companies, that the criteria that you have set as to who you're prospecting into? So in this case, they have 45 employees. They were founded in 2011. The description, information about them. You're gathering everything. You can add this to HubSpot directly. Another one, just to make it more relatable, let's say Pick and Pay. The same thing. It would generate all the information for you. So you just need to play around with what this looks like for you and be able to identify it. So again, you have all the information about this particular business. So 1 second. Now I'm going to quickly show you in terms of the emails. Once you have it integrated with HubSpot, so you just need to download the Google Chrome, for example. Once you have that, you could easily, even do it out of your own email, your inbox in there, to compose an email and say, in this case, I'm going to ask the system to write an email for me. And I find this very effective. I really love this particular tool because in this sense, I can decide if this is going to be an introduction email or a cold outreach I want to do, or a follow-up email. So in this case, if I want to do an introduction email, then what am I selling? In this case, let's say I'm selling sales up. Sales up. And then my target audience, or my key persona I'm reaching out to is chief of sales. Okay, so what do I want this email to actually encompass? So in here, increase in revenue. Okay, so in this case, you can actually set the tone of what the email would look like. Do you want it to be, if I'm reaching out to chief of sales, I really want it to be very professional and optimistic. So in here, I could then generate what that looks like. And I think this is super powerful to use. So in here, you can see, let's talk about sales up, and my name is there, and then my proposal is there basically. And if I like what is being generated, I could easily select it, then insert the content into my email, and voila, I'm sending the email out. I think this is super powerful, and it would definitely increase the level of productivity that your sales team would have. And yeah, that's it from my side. I'm going to stop sharing now. And just to give you a bit of food for thought, as a salesperson, your job is to leverage tools to help you with your processes. In this case, I would say it's important to leverage HubSpot's generative AI to help you close more deals, and then help you with your customers basically, and you can increase your efficiency and give your own business a future proof basically. So because at this point that we're going, if you're not using the necessary tools that you're meant to be using for your business, you're not going anywhere. So, and this is where HubSpot comes in to help you and make your business grow better. So I'm going to hand over to you now, Luke.
Thanks, Dolly. That was a great demo. Really enjoyed it, especially the outreach email. I think that's brilliant. Okay, so that was the demo. As we said, we're going to share this link in the chat. If you don't have HubSpot and you want to try this out, just click this link and sign up for a free account. You can use all these tools and start playing around with them. Yeah, that's it we've got for today. I'd love to answer some questions if there are any.